This is the plaintiff, Virginia McDonald. She says she put a deposit down on a horse and took it for a one-week trial to see if they liked one another and to see if she wanted to buy it. Well, it turns out the horse threw her off and she was rushed to the hospital with a fractured vertebrae. She brought the horse back. The defendant told her he'd give her back her money, but never did, and here they are. She's suing for $3,000 of money she's owed. This is the defendant, David Henderson. He says he never received a dime from the plaintiff and would never have his horse go out on a trial. Some other guy at the barn made this deal with the plaintiff on his own. The crazy woman even went so far as to make flyers calling him a horse thief, for goodness sakes. All he knows is he never got any money, and he's not about to give any back. He's accused of trotting into a lawsuit. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,900 to retrain his horse and vet bills.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Virginia McDonald?
Yes.
You are suing David Henderson for $3,000, $1,000 of it a deposit that you feel needs to be returned to you, and $2,000 of it for fraud and pain and suffering. You have a counterclaim against her for $2,900, $1,800 for retraining the horse that you say she's psychologically damaged, and $1,100 in medical bills, because I guess you mean she physically damaged the horse too. Okay, what is going on?
Okay, we went to a horse farm to look at horses. A friend of mine told me about this place, and we looked at two horses I didn't really care for, and this manager from the farm, Keith, brought out a horse, Navarro mare, and I kind of liked her, so he rode her first, and then I took her out at a walk, a trot, and he said we could take her home for a week trial, but it was his boss's horse, which was David Henderson, and he would have to call him and make sure it was okay.
Okay.
So while we were there, my husband and I were there, he called David Henderson, and David Henderson, yes, we could take the horse home.
How do you know he called David Henderson?
He did it right in front of us.
Okay,
he
so
called
he's
him
having the
David.
conversation with
Yes,
with
on
his
his cell
boss.
phone he called David. And he said, David said, as long as we left half down, he wanted $1,800 for the horse. As long as we left half down, we could take the horse for the one-week trial, as long as, she was okay when we brought her back.
Okay.
If I didn't like her in that time, I could bring her back for my money.
Okay, and then
that.
what happened? You took the horse.
I took the horse, and I didn't ride her any more than 2.5 hours. One day I rode her for 20 minutes. It was just a walk around the property. Then Janine and I took her out on the trail.
Who's Janine?
Janine, she's owner and trainer of her farm.
Okay.
We took her out on a 1-hour trail ride. It was just a walk trot. And the 22nd, I took her in the ring, and we were just walking and, just trotting a little bit. The one time we were going past the gate, and she wanted to stop, so I pushed her on. I just squeezed a little, because I'm not ready to do anything, and neither was she. So I squeezed her a little bit, and it appeared she didn't like it, and she just broke into 3 bucks. First buck I sat, the second buck got me loose, and the third buck got me off.
Okay.
So,
Did you get hurt?
Yes, I did. I have a fractured L4 vertebrae. I was at the hospital. Yeah, I was out of work until the 1st of January.
From when to when?
This happened November 22nd. I was out a week. I went back to work. I was still having pain. Then they did the MRI, and that's when they found the L4 fracture.
Okay, what'd they do for it? Is there anything they
There's
did
nothing they could do.
No.
It didn't need surgery. It wasn't near the
Okay.
spinal cord. So,
All right, so you don't want the horse.
No.
Okay, so what
No.
happens?
Well, I was at the hospital on the 22nd. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Janine.
Come on up, Janine, please. What's your last name?
Shavu.
Shavu?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Shavu, did you bring the horse back?
Yes, I did.
When?
The 22nd.
And that was when in relation to the injury? The same day?
Yes, the same
Okay.
day.
So you bring the horse back, and what conversation do you have with Keith? Is Keith here? No, right? Go ahead.
After the incident happened, I called Keith and told him what happened, and
Right.
told her she didn't want the horse.
Okay.
So he said he had to call Dave to make sure it was okay to bring the horse back.
And then you said,
Well, after we found he said that as long as we brought the horse back that day, it would be okay. She'd get her money back.
who said that to you?
Dave, this is what Keith said.
Said
Dave
that
said.
after consultation with Dave, that's what you could do.
Yes.
So you bring the horse back.
That day,
And
yes.
you're standing there like this, right? Waiting for the money.
And
Right?
he wanted to try to make it where if they found another horse in a week or two, would that be in consideration? So we
Okay.
did give her We left without the horse. We left the horse there
And without the money.
and without the money.
And then what happens?
That's for-
I guess you can take it from there.
Trying to get a hold of Keith with how are we going to get our money back. He kept avoiding us. So then finally, I guess the first time we called David was on the 2nd of December.
Okay.
So we called him, and my husband called him. And
Come on up, husband. What conversation did you have with Dave?
I asked him how we can get our money back. And he said, what money? And I said, the money that Janine brought the horse back, and you said that we could have our money back off the horse. He said, well, it's not my fault your wife can't ride. I don't owe you nothing. Next day, he calls me back. He says, well, when you get a lawyer, have him call me because you psychologically damaged my horse. So I laughed, and I hung up. I just didn't want to hear it. It
Okay.
was the funniest thing I ever heard.
Let me hear from you. What's going on?
It was my understanding that Virginia came to the farm to look at a horse, and it was a horse named Clyde, who was about a 12-year-old, well-trained horse. I have a picture of that horse if you'd like to see it. During the course of, while she was checking this horse out, it's my understanding from Keith's a gentleman that also keeps horses at the farm. He had known that I had,
What's your relationship with the farm?
I rent the farm, and I
Okay.
keep my horses there.
Okay.
And there are a couple of other people who keep horses there.
That you rent to?
That pay
Sublet?
me board.
That pay you
They
board,
pay me
okay.
board for their horses to stay there.
Okay.
I supply feed and shelter for the horses.
I got it.
And Keith is one of those individuals.
Okay.
So during the course of Keith showing this horse, which was his horse, this horse to Virginia.
This is not the horse you bought?
No, that's
Okay.
not the horse she bought. She came to the barn to look at that horse, which is a horse that Keith owned. During the course of to my understanding, because I wasn't there, it's my understanding that during the course of her viewing that horse, she saw a horse that was owned by me, a horse named Shiza, and we have a picture of that. And she inquired to Keith as to whether that horse was for sale. Keith knew that this horse was for sale and made an arrangement. I didn't speak to Keith until later that evening.
Keith sold your horse without knowing what you wanted for it?
You know,
Because they
when
say Keith called you.
Keith called me that evening after the horse had already left the property.
So Keith actually sold the horse without you knowing the price he was getting or the deal he was making?
He knew that the horse in general was for sale, and he knew in general the price that I was asking for the horse. The horse had been for sale for some weeks.
So when she says that Keith stood there and called you, you're saying they're lying
She
about
wasn't talking to, he wasn't talking to me, because I would not have agreed.
So when they say that they hear him say, Dave, comma, that you're saying that they're lying
She did
about
not
it.
speak to me, correct.
No, I didn't say
I'm
did she
sorry.
speak to you. We all know she didn't speak to you. What she says is that Keith picked up the phone and called you, because it's your horse, and says, Dave, I got a lady here, this is what she wants, and that she ran it all by you, you okayed it, then he hung up, and then they made the deal, which is what I would expect to have happen, because you got to have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, you've got to have a lot of nerve to sell a man's horse without consulting the man. Is
Well-
that the kind of person Keith is?
Keith, I wouldn't characterize it in that nature. Keith and I are...
But that's what you're saying.
Keith and I are friends. Keith knew that I had the horse for sale. He did go ahead and make arrangements with Virginia to sell the horse.
What were the arrangements?
The arrangements are what he wrote down, and I saw this after the fact, after the horse had left the property.
What did he write down?
I have a copy of it if you'd like to see
Okay.
it.
Is that Keith's handwriting?
I'm not sure whose handwriting it is. It's signed
Okay.
by Virginia McDonald.
It's your handwriting?
And as a
Paid
matter
to
of
Dave Henderson, will, and then it names a farm, $1,000 deposit toward 1 week trial period from 11/17 to 11/24 for Shiza Fancy Socket. Something balanced to be paid of $800 on 11/24 if Virginia McDonald decides to keep her horse if brought and to be returned sound. Deposit refunded if not kept. This is your handwriting.
I wrote it just the way Keith told me to write it.
Okay.
That's what-
Did Keith sign this?
Yes, he did.
All right. And so then
have
what
the original.
happens?
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that,
She returns
that I
the
didn't
horse.
sign that
This
agreement.
is the
I know you
original.
didn't sign, Mr. Henderson. Do you take me for a fool?
No, Your Honor.
Do you think I think you were hiding behind the barn stall somewhere and that that's what she has to prove to win?
No, Your Honor.
The question is, did you authorize this? Was this done with your sanctioning? Does Keith have a parent authority to bind you? And how are you going to worm out of this now?
I said to him I didn't like the deal, that he should renege on the deal because he shouldn't let my horse go out on trial. Shouldn't let my horse leave the barn on trial, because once my horse leaves the barn, anything could happen. And then what's my recourse if the horse is injured.
Okay, and?
He then called Janine's husband, Ray, to inquire about the horse. And Keith indicated to me, and I understand this is secondhand, Keith indicated to me that Ray had told him that Virginia had ridden the horse a number of days and that Virginia was happy with the horse. And at that point I said, well, get all the money together and give me the money. And
Why
Ray,
isn't Keith here?
I don't know. I don't know where Keith is.
Really? Because wouldn't it make sense that you bring him as a witness?
I don't know where Keith is, Your Honor.
Why would you, in the position of being sued, not bring the person with all of the knowledge of everything having to do with the contract, unless you don't think it's beneficial for you for him to be here? That's the conclusion a judge would draw by you not bringing him.
Well, Your Honor, my position was that I didn't enter into an agreement and I didn't get any money.
Yeah, well, no, but see, I don't just take that at face value. I delve in to see whether you're lying about that and whether that holds any water. And right now, you are a sieve, okay?
Okay.
That's what's happening. So now tell me, you tell him, I don't like the deal you struck without my authority, which I have to tell you, I find hard to believe, considering they say he called you and that's what would make sense, okay? And then he says, well, it looks like they're going to keep him. And then you obviously know that the horse threw her and that they're not going to keep him.
No, Virginia's husband called me and asked me for the money. I told him I didn't have the money. I never even met Virginia and her husband until January.
Are you done? Is there anything that I don't know now? I want to know if there's anything.
Yeah, the horse came back injured.
Okay, tell me about the injuries on the horse. That's your counterclaim. You have medical injuries and psychological injuries. Tell me about them.
The horse came back, from my understanding, when the horse was in the possession of Ray, Janine, and Virginia, that Virginia rode it every day, which isn't very good practice. When you get a new horse to a new barn, you should give it some time to acclimate. They overrode it. The horse, evidently, to Virginia's speaking, bucked, probably because it was injured. Our veterinarian has determined that there was a muscular injury in the horse's back, which caused the horse to buck, and advised that the horse should be on 12-week stall rest, which is what the horse is doing right now.
May I see that? Wait, I'm sorry. Where's the signature of the doctor? I don't even know the name of the doctor. What is this?
Yeah, well, I have our veterinarian who gives care to the horses, and one of those documents there is from a chiropractor who is adjusting the horse.
Okay, there's a piece of paper from a chiropractic center.
That's Dr. Huff.
Okay, and that doesn't say Dr. Huff, doesn't have anything anywhere, it just says barn call $60, doesn't have which horse. That is an equine estimate. That is not a bill for this horse.
That's correct, Your Honor. As I said,
now this is what? This is authored by who? Because there's no name on the bottom of it. That's
KB Horseman, who's the trainer.
Okay, so this isn't a medical evaluation. I thought you were going to give me something from your vet that said all the things you said.
Your Honor, as I had stated, the medical bills aren't complete yet because the horse is on stall rest.
The medical bills aren't complete because there's no medical man involved. You didn't even have a vet see the horse, did you?
The vet saw the horse, Your Honor.
Okay, can I see the report?
I don't have that bill with me.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So can horses develop psychological problems? What do you think?
Definitely. Why? Because they have brains. I mean...
Fair enough. When you have a brain, you can develop psychological problems?
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, I think absolutely. If you've got a brain, you're going to get problems.
Do you, you consider yourself fairly smart?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know. You seem psychologically screwed up, so you seem like a smart guy to me. I'm just kidding. Going inside the courtroom.
Do you have the report from the vet to substantiate what you're saying?
He didn't do a report, Your Honor. He said this horse is injured and needs stall rest, needs to be reevaluated after the stall rest.
But the way it works in court is that you have to prove it. And if you cannot prove it, you cannot win it, okay? So on your counterclaim, 0. And on her claim, I'm going to order you to return the $1,000 that she put down on the horse. And you know what? I'm going to order you to pay her another $1,000 in punitive damages because of the bad faith that you have shown in not abiding by the contract that you clearly authorized someone who still is renting from you, who you're a pal with, who called you right then and there because you do business like a jerk. So now you're going to have to pay her double, $2,000. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Well, there's a defendant coming out to talk to us in the hallway. It's too bad you couldn't bring Keith in with you today. What is your reaction to the outcome here?
Well, I think the judge was unreasonable, and I think that the plaintiff shouldn't be allowed to ride a carousel horse because she doesn't know what she's doing with horses.
Is there a chance that you might finish the evaluation gather all those bills together and then come back into court and try
Yes.
to recover?
Yes.
All right. All right, right around the corner this way. All right, so step on out here. What's going through your mind as you come out after that?
I think the truth was heard and the judge was right.
So what are you riding horses? What are you doing? What are you doing with horses these days?
Well, we're going to get another one as soon as
yeah.
our back heals up. This is going to be the trainer,
She's
Janine.
a trainer and
all right.
owner.
Janine's very good with horses.
All right. Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, you know I love you, but I'm going to correct you here. You asked this guy, the defendant, if he was going to get documents to refile the countersuit. He cannot do that. You get one bite of the apple in court. Legally, the term is called res judicata. One bite of the apple. And that will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.